question, comment on mental health. There's an application before the state health commissioner for a psychiatric facility in eastern Prince William County. The Health Systems Agency in Northern Virginia has recommended denial. I'd like to get your attention, please. This application is going to go before the commissioner on Tuesday. It's a $30 million facility, privately funded, and it's going to be placed in Woodbridge. And right now there are no psychiatric beds in Prince William County except for an antiquated facility in Manassas. They say go to Dominion. We have 200,000 people that live alone in eastern Prince William County, and they're elderly. The people are living and dying in the woods near that facility, and the state is going to deny this. I ask that you consider taking a look at this. I understand they're going to deny it on, Dr. Levine is scheduled to deny this on Tuesday, and this has all been below the radar. We're going to lose this opportunity, and I ask that you consider intervening with Dr. Levine. Simple phone call. Somebody's got to stop this. This is just ridiculous that there would be such a facility like that is subject to denial. If you have any comments or questions,
would like to.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the question. Some of you that don't know, Virginia is a certificate of need state. And so what that means is that there's an assessment by the Commissioner of Health that takes a look at what the need is for the bed space available. Members generally don't like to get involved in those issues because we certainly don't want to be a political issue. What we do want more than anything is to make sure that we have a sufficient supply of beds, psychiatric beds available. Because as you know, this issue with Senator Deeds and the tragedy with his son Gus, that was a direct relation to a bed shortage. And it's significantly bad. In Northern Virginia, I will tell you that probably, you look at all the regions, we have per capita fewer beds than any other region in the entire state. So there's clearly a shortage here. We have a lot of the private hospitals that have kicked in to help us with that shortage. But the Commissioner of Health makes those assessments based on need. And so we generally don't get in. I will contact the Commissioner's office just to weigh in to make sure that we make sure that we have a sufficient number. But that probably won't have an impact because they do look at the need in the area to make sure it's adequate. And I trust their judgment. If they say it's adequate, then it's adequate.
Okay. Here's a question right here. Oh, could you identify yourself, please?
Hi, Dr. Sure. Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Dr.
Mic is not on.
Is it on?
It's on.
It's on. So thank you everyone for being here. My name is Dr. Clara Bilgin, and I have a great gratitude for you, Delegate Lopez, for your
Sorry.
I know that in my community there are a lot of moms like me who have been following the gun violence prevention bills very closely, and this is a trigger issue for us, to use this analogy. So can you give us a little bit of details of what happened with the bill? Why is it incomplete, and what we should be expecting with this continued session, if we can be hopeful, and possibly next year?
There were numerous gun violence prevention bills put forward. The fact is this, though. You have the NRA, and on equal footing with several members of the House Republican Caucus, is the Virginia Defense League, which thinks the NRA is too liberal. They will speak in the Militia and Police and Public Safety Committee that I'm a member of with Marcus Simon, and they will be given equal footing with those groups. I've had 40 of them come into my room and my office and talk to us about these issues of just they believe that the Second Amendment cannot be changed in any way, shape, or form. It's sacrosanct. The fact is this, though. DC versus Heller, a 5-4 decision, where Antonin Scalia wrote the opinion. He said that you cannot take away an individual's handgun, but you can restrict and limit access to excessively and uniquely dangerous weapons, like an AR-15. They think Antonin Scalia is too liberal. Here's the issue. 91% of Virginians in January of 2012 believed in background checks. 2/3 of people who read Field and Stream in Virginia believe in background checks. 3/4 of NRA members believe in background checks. As soon as we put a universal background check bill before the House delegates, it's killed in subcommittee number 2. We call it the death committee. Out of hand. Same thing with high-capacity gun magazines, because we know in all of these massacres around the country, you've got 33-round magazines, 100-round magazines. Their point of these magazines is not to kill a deer. It's not to go hunting. These magazines' sole purpose is to kill people. And I'll tell a little story and then I'll stop. Ducks in the United States have more protection regarding magazines than human beings do. If I go hunting, if I go duck hunting, I can only have 3 shotgun shells in my shotgun. But I can have as many 100-round magazines in my semi-automatic weapon as I possibly could want. There's something incredibly wrong with that. My little boy, when I drop him off at school in the morning, there's a piece of my mind that always thinks, is today the day that a gunman shatters the happy chaos of my little boy's elementary school? If these are the kinds of things we're worrying about, we're going backwards as a society.
Okay. Can you send the mic up here to Senator Cavola?
No, I cannot do that.
My colleague from Arlington is
I just want to say, I
working on
read
making it
recently where there's more gun dealers than there are McDonald's in Virginia, so that tells us something.
Thank you, John. I'm Barbara Favola, and I represent parts of Arlington, parts of Fairfax, and parts of Loudoun in the state Senate. It's Senate District 31. You may have heard this already. I do apologize for being late. I was speaking to a women's group at 8:30 this morning. But Marcus Simon and I put in a bill to actually take away guns for only 5 years from those who were convicted of a misdemeanor stalking or sexual battery or sexual assault of a household member. Now, one would think, remember, these folks have been convicted. One would think that we would be able to garner enough support to get something like that through. I want to say it did pass the Senate in a bipartisan fashion. I had lots of good friends helping me. Senator Zaslow was one of them. And we got to the House and we went through this, as my colleague said, subcommittee of depth, and the chair didn't want to hear testimony. But we had so many active groups who were supportive of this bill that we did get a Republican to refer the bill to the Crime Commission for further study, which we considered to be, you know, a small, very, very, very small victory. So, you know, there is a growing movement out there that is saying you have to have a better balance between, you know, the individual gun rights and public safety. There is a public safety argument here. And folks are beginning to get that. We're going to have to do a lot more work. So I thank SALT for your efforts in helping us deliver that message, and we're going to continue to work at it. We're going to meet with another group in the summer, and Marcus and I will be putting in additional legislation next session. Thank you.
Well,